Word up, y'all. Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God. And this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. You gotta click the bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday, even when it's boring as shit in the market. Welcome in. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me even on the Instagram and TradingView. It's one word. It's Crypto Bull God. Brian, welcome in, brother. I got to tell you, price is real boring. There's nothing exciting going on. And I am here. I am here to keep your interest piqued and engaged in the crypto universe. We will not succumb to the clickbait fear porn that is out there that the market is going to dump. The S&P is like 3% away from a new all-time high, but everything's going to dump. We're not going to do that on this channel. It's kind of funny, actually, if we look at the watch list here, the only thing that's green, Solana's actually green, Flare. The dumpster fire that has been Flare is the only thing that's green on this watch list. Oh, no, the rest of the traditional markets are green. I want to take a look, guys. I think what would be interesting today. What's up, Pedro? You damn right, Caspa. Caspa is providing you guys. I mean, I just put out a video. Just never financial advice on this channel. I'm just telling you. I'm calling it like I see it. Okay, providing an opportunity. Rashid, you hit chest too? So I'm curious, what did you work today in particular? Did you hit the mid-pectoral, the upper pectoral, or the lower pectoral? I actually split my chest day up. I do mid, just like flat bench, close grip, chest flies. I do that one day, and then I do upper and decline flat bench and, upper and lower chest flies the other day on Thursday. So that's what I was doing today. Scan QR by the dip. Very, very interesting emojis there, sir or ma'am. That is quite a lot of love going on in the live stream right now. Guys, make sure to drop me a comment. Express a little love for CBG. You know what I think we're going to do today? We're going to do something a little bit different. I've spoken about this. Give it a shot, Rashid. See how you like it. Try splitting it up. What's up, Track? Glad to see you in, brother. We're going to do something a little bit different today. This is something I have spoken about, and there really isn't anything exciting going on in the markets. By the way, the only project on my watch list that is pumping is XDC. I'm not sure if you saw, but I literally just recorded a video today on XDC, and that is going to drop at 12 a.m., first thing on technically Friday morning, so make sure that you give XDC a watch. I give Mcash Official, Nick, I give him a little bit of a shout out on that video. So make sure that you check that out. And if you don't know who Nick is, watch the video because I strongly suggest giving him a follow. I don't consider myself a beast, but thank you, Rashid. I appreciate it. Yeah, there isn't anything super exciting going on in the market. So I think what we're going to do is, I feel like I'm recording one of my videos. What we're going to do, we're going to take a look at traditional markets. And the reason that you guys really should stay tuned to what we're going to talk about as it pertains to traditional markets. Because if you have a very good sense of what's going on in traditional markets, that will help you to understand how the crypto markets should be operating, right? Because they are positively correlated. They tend to move in the same direction, okay? And so the punchline there is if we believe that the stock market, the traditional market indices, the NASDAQ, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, and the S&P, if we believe those things to be healthy, and furthermore, if we believe that it is very likely that they are going to create new all-time highs, that is very, very bullish for risk-on assets like crypto. And so I think it would be very good for us to take a look at those markets and do a historical deep dive in terms of, let's take a look at the NASDAQ first. in terms of now that we've hit as high as we've hit, and it looks like we're going to need to turn this into resistance. Now that we've hit as high as we've hit, what is the likelihood that we're going to roll over? Because I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm not going to name the one influencer, but I literally, unfortunately, I'm looking at my YouTube home screen. Unfortunately, there's a channel I'm subscribed to that just interviewed this individual. And I'm pretty disappointed. Because I think he, apologies. I think he institutes a lot of clickbait fear porn. And unfortunately, a channel I'm subscribed to interviewed this person today with the clickbait that should we be worried about a crash. So let's spend a little bit of time kind of looking at what's going on and have an honest assessment, as we always do, in terms of where we are at in traditional markets. See what else we got. I'll get to your comments real quick, and then we are going to dive right into the charts and take a historical look at the markets. Track, you're in the gym. That is good to hear. Everybody should exercise, whatever it is. What's up, Ricky? Want to check out the TLT chart? I think that's close to the bottom price-wise. TLT. I don't know what TLT is, but we can certainly take a look at it. Okay. So we're going to take a look at the NASDAQ first. And what we're going to do is we're going to ask the question. First, we're going to see how far away did we get, approximately. We were approximately, once we had that bounce high, let's see. The NASDAQ got within 5% of all-time highs. Now, the question I want to ask is, the last time that we were within roughly 5% of all-time highs, did we roll over or did we create new all-time highs? So let's take a look at that. Well, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious to see here. Let's go back in time to here. Well, this was the COVID crash. Oh, can't say that word. Going to get demonetized. We were about 5% from all-time highs right about here, right on this candlestick, and you can see we continue to make new all-time highs. You can see we've just been trending up. NASDAQ's a little less mature. There isn't anything here where it looks like we're getting within 5% of all-time highs here. Okay, now this is a good example. Now this is back in 2015. Thank you for everyone new tuning in. Appreciate the love. If you can hit the thumbs up button. Now, it looks like back in 2015, this is July right here. We're going to go to a 2-week, just try to condense some of the price action. This right here, okay, 2015. Now, this is a great example where we actually barely, okay, you could see the all-time high was right here, okay. We barely, this is essentially a double top. So in this, for instance, this is a great example in 15 where we double topped, okay, and then we rolled over, okay, and we continued going lower for, you know, it looked like December 15 all the way until July of 16. So for like a year, we just rolled over and were lower in price until we eventually broke out, okay. Oh, no, wait, I apologize. This is December 15 to July 16. I am really bad at math, apparently. I am an actuary. That's only 7 months, 7 to 8 months. So we did roll over, though. This is essentially a double top. So that's one example. As you can see here, now people have been comparing a lot of what's going on in traditional markets to either the dot-com bubble or the great financial crisis. So let's take a look at what happened here. This is the great financial crisis. So here, we were within, make sure I get this right, 8%. Okay, so not 5%, we were within 8% of all-time highs, and then we rolled over. And obviously had a massive correction. Okay, so that doesn't qualify. Let's go back to the .com. Now here, we got nowhere near 5%. You can see here, we got as high as 14%. So again, the closest we have to today of any of the time periods we're going back to now, 23 years and counting, would be the great financial crisis where the NASDAQ got as high as about 8.33% from all-time highs, and then we rolled over, okay? Besides that, you know, we had one double top here, and we just never had a time period where we got within 5% on the NASDAQ and we rolled over. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones, the nice thing about this indice, I'll get to your comments in a moment here. The nice thing about the Dow Jones is this indice is it goes back further. So if we take a look at what's going on here, the Dow Jones has been exhibiting a lot of strength. If we take a look at how far from the all-time high we are in the Dow Jones Industrial Average, we can see we got as high as 3.6% approximately. Okay, we'll call it 3.5%. Just keep it nice and round, okay? So once we bottomed, right, which I believe this is our bottom, right? So once we rolled over and we've had this bounce up, what I'm saying is we've gotten to approximately 3.5% from our prior all-time highs in the market, right? So has there ever been a point in the Dow Jones Industrial Average where we've been like 3.5% from all-time highs and then we just continue to roll over? Here you can see that isn't the case. Here you can see that isn't the case. Again, all-time high here. This was the great financial crisis. Once we got within, you know, that 3-5%, we continued churning higher. Doesn't qualify there. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I mean, we're going back now 40 years of price data. I'm not seeing it. So, again, we're just quickly examining the price data to see if anything sticks out. Now, this bounce, okay, this is back in 1975. We might have something that qualifies. Yeah, I would say close enough for me. So it looks like in 1975, okay, so approximately we'll say 50 years ago, it's really like 48 years ago. 48 years ago, we basically did the same thing where, you know, we corrected from our all-time high. You can see this was our all-time high. This almost looks like a triple top almost. But all-time high here. This is all-time high. We rolled over. We came up. We came within about 3.7% of all-time highs, and then we continued to roll over. And we didn't create, it's a quadruple top. We didn't create a new all-time high in the stock market until 82. So that was like 6 years of sideways, which is pretty rough. So there's one event in the past. It looks like on the Dow Jones to me, there is one qualifying event in 50 years of price data that would say, well, we could roll over. But besides that one data point, it's never happened before. So the odds are very slim. The point of where I'm going with this, and I'll spare us from looking at the S&P. We looked at the Dow and NASDAQ. That's good enough. The point of what I'm saying is when you look at the market indices through this lens, and this is not, I hope even if you're not a data person, you're not a math person, a quantitative person, what other word choices can I use? You can still appreciate the fact that what I'm doing with you live right now is simply evaluating the empirical data, and I'm not interjecting any emotional biases, right? I need to catch up on a lot of YouTube comments that I've gotten on recent videos. I've been trying to get better about that. It's just finding the time to do it. But a lot of times what happens, whether it's on Twitter or whether it's on YouTube or you see comments in general, people are interjecting their emotional opinion. That is not what we do on this channel. We're evaluating the data here. Can I be an extremely emotional person and be a little cray-cray? Yes, of course. And I do that partly for entertainment value and partly because that's just who the fuck I am. But at the end of the day, when I'm making investment decisions, what I'm doing is I'm removing that emotion and I'm allowing the charts to speak for themselves. And that's what we're doing right now. We're evaluating this historical data in these indices. And what it is saying to us unequivocally is that there is a much higher statistical likelihood that we are going to continue pushing higher. Now, how much higher we're going to go? And again, I said that over these next couple weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of a healthy correction. How much higher we're going to go? Whether we're going to top at 40,000 in the Dow Jones, or we don't go much higher at 38, or we go all the way up to 45, 50,000. That's anyone's educated guess. But the point is, I have just proven to you, and to myself at the same time, because I did not do this before the live stream, that now that we are within 3.5% on the Dow, now that we got within 5% on the NASDAQ, the likelihood is we're just going to continue churning higher. You can read whatever headline you want to make sense of what's going on. That's being human, right? But at the end of the day, the data is telling us that it is most likely that we're just going to continue churning higher. Let's see what comments we have here. 20-plus year Treasury ETF. That's what you're speaking to, TLT? Okay. I'm getting smoked on my XRP short. Evan, you're getting smoked on your XRP short? Really? Price has been correcting. What are you talking about? Let me check out the XRP chart with you. Last I saw, was it like 62 cents or something like that? Yeah, what do you mean you're getting smoked on your short? We've been doing nothing. Evan, unless you started shorting this thing like right at the 50 simple moving average, which I would not have suggested. Now, if you shorted it up here in the 70 to 80 cent range, I would say that was a very smart call. And, people will misconstrue. I think the emotional investor will misconstrue my comments. Me saying it is smart if you're short, I don't short, but me saying it's smart to short up in this area, it's not that I don't... That comment isn't communicating to you that I don't believe in the project or support the project. That's not what it's saying. Once again, what it's saying is I'm using logic over emotion to make a probabilistic statement that more than likely we're going to go down in price. I spoke to that in my XRP non-Moonboy video, right, guys? I've been trying to share on Twitter, hey guys, if you want to evaluate and see an analysis that is not Moonboyish in nature, check this video out, right? So you'd be very smart to short here. I wouldn't be shorting in this area. Could I see prices getting down to 54 cents or 58.5 cents? Absolutely. But I wouldn't be shorting at this level. I would have been shorting at, the more towards the 70, 80 cent range. Oh, you placed it like 20 minutes ago. Okay. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong, guys. If you have a little bit of money to play with, just to have fun, as Evan's alluding to here, you have $50, $100, whatever. You just want to play around with it in short stuff or long stuff. Go for it. And in some ways, to be honest with you, especially in a market that is as boring as this market is right now, and it's gonna, once it does start to pick up, I'm telling you, remember me saying, those who have been loyal enough to continue tuning into this live stream or who are new, remember me saying this, when this market picks up, it's gonna be quick, okay? But in the meantime, as the market continues to stagnate and not really do too much, one of the things that can actually keep you in the game is doing what Evan is doing. Evan just might have $100 and he just might be shorting this or longing this and just kind of having fun with it. But what actually is happening is it's keeping him engaged in the market. He's paying attention to prices versus saying, like, I'm just not going to pay attention to this stuff and I'm just going to go off and do whatever. That would be the worst thing that you could do. You wake up one day and you see Bitcoin is up, 12, 15%, and you're like, what the hell just happened? Do what you need to do to stay engaged and informed in this market. It will benefit you on the long term. I have been invested in this market since the winter of 2018 as things started correcting. Okay, I got into Bitcoin, I got into XRP, I got into Litecoin. Okay, so I think even at that point I might have bought some Bitcoin Cash. So I got into the market very early on, and I mean, based on a lot of people who have been in this space, on the one hand, I've only been in this space invested for 5.5 years. But on the other hand, that's like a veteran in this space. I've been here for 5.5 years, right? So that has benefited me to accumulate a lot of knowledge over time to share with you guys. You got to make sure you stay engaged in the market. What's up, Frankie? Glad to see you in the live stream. No, Frankie, I haven't talked about Caspa. Appreciate you watching the video. I would say the video speaks for itself. Nothing new to report there. Anything close to 4.3 cents is a gift, in my opinion. You don't break an all-time high, consolidate slightly above it, and think that it's a selling opportunity. I think that is a horrible decision. That is a golden buying opportunity, especially given the strength that that project has exhibited. And I've shared the fact that I love the fundamentals on it, which I'm going to get into in a video. But that thing has moved up tremendously in market cap ranking. The community's strong. They're very engaged. They seem knowledgeable, sensical. I don't hear a lot of moon boy talk in that community. So great project to get into, in my opinion. Okay, so you're playing around with $1,000. All right, lucky. Hey, Evan, lucky you. If that's a little amount of money to play around with. Not everyone can say that. Track, do you think something big has to happen for the market to pick up? Track, you should know the answer to this, my friend. You've been here for a while. Can you take a guess what I'm going to say? The news follows the charts and not the other way around. I understand that it's human psychology to say that the charts follow the news and that there has to be a big news narrative to result in a price explosion, right? Or there has to be devastating news for prices to tank. I don't see it that way. Being a general investor, oh my God, for a long time, just in general investing. The way that I see it is that the news follows the charts. And let me give you an example of what I'm speaking to here. So, and I apologize if I'm sniffing and that's irritating anyone. Maybe I'm just more sensitive than other people, but I've noticed, I don't know if it's my allergies or what is going on, but I've noticed a lot when I'm recording these live streams with you guys. I've picked up on the fact that I sniff a lot. So I promise I don't have a cocaine addiction. It's just allergies. Okay. Yeah, so when I look at this chart, and let's not forget the fact that we have an inverse head and shoulders that is still playing out, right? We had this inverse head and shoulders, all right? Right? We broke out. We got a falling wedge, bull pennant. Okay, here's our pole. Here's our pennant. We broke out. What do you think we're doing right now? All we're doing, okay, all I see in the price is just healthy consolidation. When we broke out, this is a 2-week chart, right? It helps to consolidate things so you can really appreciate what's going on. Let's even just get off the moving averages for the sake of the conversation. I mean, when you look at this chart, what's unhealthy about that? That's my first question. But the second question I have for you, Track, because you should... Yes, you know. Correct. You should know the answer to that question, Track. This thing right now is in another bull pennant, okay? You could definitely argue this is another pennant formation, okay? Here's your pole, okay? Here's your pole. Here's your pennant. But more importantly, even if you didn't identify the bull pennant in this situation, what you can see, based on price action and the volume profile, you can see that we had a large movement up in price, and now we're just doing this and chipping in. Let me put this on a weekly. Need a little bit more candlesticks in here. You can see, oh, everybody loves when I scribble on here like a kindergartner, right? You guys appreciate that. If you appreciate that, hit the thumbs up button. So you can see that all we've done right now is we had a monumental move up in price, and now we're just doing this. We're just consolidating. Even though price is going down, a lot of people confuse consolidation with the idea. I've said this on this live stream before. Consolidation isn't necessarily a straight line like this. Consolidation can be this. Consolidation can be that, going slightly up, okay? It can be both. But also look at the volume profile. What happened on the big spike up in price? Look at the volume down here, and then it peters off. This is just so classic. It's so classic that this type of price action very often weeds out the weak-handed. It weeds out the people that aren't really truly convicted in this space and the people that really can't read a chart and understand what's going on, okay? We don't need the ETF news to skyrocket price. No. When price does skyrocket, it would not shock me if it was correlated with ETF news. Do you see the difference in what I'm saying here? We don't need the ETF news to cause the price to skyrocket. When the price does skyrocket, it will be correlated with the ETF news. It would not shock me if when price does skyrocket, it would be correlated with the ETF news. I also think there's a lot of other TA people out there that believe what I'm saying, but I think that they cater their messaging to the masses to believe that even though they believe that the charts are going to say everything, what they do is they do gravitate to those popular news narratives of fear or excitement because they know that that is what keeps you engaged and makes sense to you, even if it's not really reality. Reality is that the data here is telling us everything we need to know. Based on this technical setup right now, based on other charts that we've looked at, the most probabilistic direction for price is up. Could we break down? Absolutely. But I'm saying we have a much higher probability of breaking up. Much higher, given that, guys, come on. This is a floor, a stair step up, a floor, a stair step up, a floor, a stair step up, a floor. I mean, all we're doing is just keep creating these higher highs and higher lows. I mean, you have to be able to see that if you read charts. A lot of comments here. Let me get to the comments. Appreciate the engagement, by the way, guys. I know it's not very exciting right now. So on a day like today, when I come out and do a live stream, I got to be honest with you. There is an element that is, and this is me being 100% transparent with you, there is an element to sacrificing my time to come out on a live stream knowing, it's not exciting and I might not get a lot of engagement. But I love this market. I'm passionate about it. And I also feel a sense of responsibility to keep you guys engaged or informed. And so I do appreciate that you show up each and every day and you have engagement here. It does help me out too, because it's some days it's hard to come out here when it's not very exciting. That's just me being truthful. Let's see what else we got. With a bearish D, what D are you talking about, Frankie? Will the bearish D on the daily and 3-day be nullified in your opinion? Bullish divergence, I understand. Will the bearish divergence on the daily and 3-day be nullified in your opinion? Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the daily. I'm curious about your 3-day comment because honestly, I mean, I'll be straight with you, Frankie. I have not been as close to the charts, a lot of charts that I'm typically close to the past week or so, just between work and personal. A lot of fun personal things that have come up. I've been pretty preoccupied, to say the least. So, bearish divergence. Okay, so we did get... So here, now I would agree with your comment. I guess the easiest thing to do would be to do this. So one of the things Frankie is pointing out is he's concerned about bearish divergence on the RSI on the daily. So let's see if I agree with him that there's bearish divergence on the RSI. Well, as you can see here, price was relatively flat and did actually go higher here, and you can see the RSI is decreasing. So I do agree with your statement that there was bearish, divergence on the RSI. However, one important thing that I would point out to you, Frankie, don't want this to be missed, I tweeted this out. You can just draw it right about here. You can see, you can draw this a couple different ways. You could draw it like that. You could draw it I would keep it like that. You could also draw it like that. Basically, you can draw a couple descending lines here, and the purposes of these descending lines is to show you if strength is picking up in the relative strength index, okay? If we're starting to break through some of these descending lines, it's expressing strength in the price, because if you think about it intuitively, if we have a descending line and we can't get above it, what's it expressing? It's expressing weakness, right? So we broke above it here. This descending line, we sort of peaked above it, but now we're below it, so it's expressing weakness. I would say the bearish divergence has been nulled. It's played out. You could say it's played out, Ricky. That's a better way to put it. There was bearish divergence on the daily here that did play out. However, now that isn't the case anymore. In fact, another thing you could look at on the daily, now that I'm looking at this, RSI is actually increasing. You can see we're increasing in value. We dipped here a little bit, but the point is, even though price was doing this sideways, now we've increased. Now the relative strength index is starting to pick up a little bit, so that is actually encouraging to see. Now, I want to look at the 3-day really quick, because you also pointed out the fact that there could be bearish divergence on the 3-day. So I want to take a look at that with you. And hopefully for those new tuning in, one of the things that you can appreciate based on how I run my channel when I do a live stream, I do something called engagement. So I engage with you, and I appreciate the feedback that you have with me, because oftentimes you may point out something I haven't realized, right? Maybe I haven't had time to analyze it throughout the week, something new that you're bringing to the audience's attention. At the end of the day, what I'd like to come about from this channel, one of the things that I'd like to happen would truly be for this to be a community, for people to help one another out. I mean, that's ideally what I'd like to see happen. Now, this is a chart that I have shared. We're going to get to your point in a moment here, Frankie. This is a chart that I have shared before, and this is a value-added chart. I would call it a value-added chart that I have shared on Twitter and on YouTube that no one else has spoken about. It's the 125 simple moving average on the 3-day. And the whole purpose behind this, and we've spoken about this before, is when you see significant price action under here, once we pop up above it, we usually have a monumental rise. We've always had a monumental rise in price. Significant price action under once we popped above it. Significant price action under, we popped above it. And as you can see, one of the things I pointed out very early on, this is months and months and months ago, we pointed this out in March, excuse me. This is pivotal. Once again, significant price action under here, and we've popped our head up. Now, we like to stay above this 125. It should act as our floor, okay? And I've also theorized that, if we have a rate of return that's in between these two here, it'd be a 5.3x from the point of the moving average when we cross. So you measure the rate of increase from the point of the moving average once we cross above it, up, and the midpoint here is a 5.3x, takes us up to 130,000. So just another data point that I use when I'm assessing projections for where Bitcoin could possibly be. But real quick, did want to take a look at this potential bearish divergence that Ricky has pointed out. That actually played out. It's funny. Let's see what we... Apologies. What the hell is up with my nose lately? I don't need another medical item coming up with me. I got to tell you, I don't know what has been up with me the past year, but one thing I'm going to share with you guys real quick before we talk about this bearish divergence, which I do see, Ricky, by the way. Thank you for pointing it out. One thing I'll share with you, and if you don't realize it now, you're going to realize it at some point in life. I take extremely good care of myself. I eat really well. I don't excessively drink. I don't ingest anything that I shouldn't be ingesting. I've never taken any illegal or questionable substances. No performance-enhancing substances, nothing. Your body is a temple. I've taken such good care of my body. And yet what you realize is that no matter how you feel, you can feel fantastic. And you can take such good care of your body. Some things you are just genetically predispositioned to have a higher rate of happening. And only God can explain that one. Not trying to get religious here, but only God can explain that one, in my opinion. And you got to accept it. It just is what it is. Again, I think if I told you how old I was, you wouldn't believe me. But I feel like I'm 25. But the reality is I am my age, and some things you just, shit happens. You genetically you got to deal with it. So anyway, the negative divergence that Frankie is pointing out here is very valid. And so where can we see this kind of playing out here? Well, you can see it right here. I mean, it's clear as day. Right now, you can see that the relative strength index, let's actually make this more prominent so you can see this here. The relative strength index here, okay, right here, you can see we're at like 69, basically 68. We now decrease to a value of about 61. You can clearly see we're decreasing, right? Anyone can see that. What has happened with price? Well, price was all the way up here at 31,000. We did retrace. Okay, so it makes sense. As we retrace, the RSI did come down, which is, typically what you would expect to see. But when we did get our bounce and we hit the same price level here, this 31,000, the point I'm trying to illustrate here, once we did bounce and we hit 31,000, which was the same here, look what happened with the RSI. We hit a lower value than here. That is negative divergence on RSI. Very good eye, Ricky. Why do I keep saying Ricky? Very good eye, Frankie. Very good eye. Very good eye. So there is bearish divergence, and ultimately, the thing that I would communicate to you guys about bearish and bullish divergence, they're both indicators. They don't need to play out. So in this case, to me, this is a caution flag. This is absolutely a caution flag. That this bearish divergence could play out, and maybe we do get some sort of drop that I am not anticipating, right? We get some sort of drop to 26,000 or 27,000 or something like that before sort of cleans the slate, re-wipes the RSI, and we continue our way up. That is possible. It's certainly possible this could play out. The other way this could play out is that we just invalidate the bearish divergence. This is a caution flag to me, but I still believe, given that historic low level of volatility, other things we've covered on this channel, we are due for a very strong move in the markets, either up or down, one or the other. I am absolutely in the camp that the move is going to be up. I think a lot of the bullshit that you have been hearing potentially or reading about the stock market diverging from crypto, I think that's a bunch of bullshit. They have a positive correlation. We've covered it on this channel plenty of times. I think that crypto is going to make a very strong impulsive wave movement up, okay? And during that impulsive move up, it's going to more than catch up with the stock market. So that is my view on the market. Let's see what else we got here. Frankie, you were talking about Caspa, huh? Well, we just covered bearish divergence on Bitcoin. But we can take a look at... Frankie, I covered the 3-day bearish divergence on Caspa. Again, similar comments. We don't need to look at the chart. I covered it in the video. Similar comments apply. The bearish divergence is there. Maybe it's playing out somewhat right now. It could play out. We could get a deeper correction than I'm anticipating. It's very possible. But I told you my thoughts on the channel. I'm expecting a big move up in the market. I'm expecting a big move up in Bitcoin. Caspa literally just broke its all-time high. It literally just broke 4.3 cents and only went up to 5.2. If I was a betting man and we came back down, if we broke 4.3, we went up to 5.2 cents and we're starting to come back down to our prior all-time high, especially given my view on the market and how strong that chart has been in Caspa. If I was a betting man, I'd say, again, never financial advice. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. Anything in that 4.3 cent area is a gift, in my opinion. So that is definitely my view on it. Thank you, YC. Glad to see you in the live stream. I'm good. I'm good. No matter what's going on, there's too much to be thankful for in life, and I do feel blessed for everything I have. Like, there's no question about that. And that's the way, no matter what's going on in your life, in my opinion, that's the perspective you should have. You have way too much to be thankful for in life. I mean, life can get really difficult at times, and it can be hard to accept certain things, and it can be. But too much to be thankful for. Blow off top in 23, blow off top in 24, 20 bear market for another 2-3 years. Confusion everywhere. Well, I will say, YC, I will say, I actually, if you guys are following me on Twitter, which I think the majority of you probably are, I had actually earlier this morning, I had tweeted this out. I'll retweet it. So I had tweeted this out this morning, and essentially I was discussing the market psychology of what I see playing out in Bitcoin and crypto. Guys, everywhere you look in terms of the most prominent YouTube channels and the Twitter accounts, I pay attention. I pay attention to what others are saying in the market. I think even whether you agree or disagree, I think it's very important to have a good pulse on what the predominant sentiment is. And what I would say is the herd right now, which are comprised of, I think, a lot of people that are really, to be quite honest, uneducated, and the people who have the loudest voices, those people that are uneducated gravitate to the people with the loudest voices, okay? That's just the way it works. That herd believes this 4-year cycle in terms of Bitcoin not topping and having a blow off top until 25. I mean, I can at least name one channel because everybody here knows this channel. I purely listen to this channel. Let me make this clear. I purely listen to this channel because this individual covers important news, and so it helps to keep me engaged on the markets, but I don't pay any attention to TA that this individual does because it's nauseating listening to him attempt to speak to TA. But he does a good job covering the news. So Cryptos Are Us, if you listen to his channel, it's like a foregone conclusion, guys. It's a foregone conclusion that Bitcoin's going to do this and Bitcoin's going to do that, and it's going to be 200,000 in 2025. Again, I would encourage you, if you did not listen to this voice message that I tweeted out earlier this morning, about 8 hours ago, it was at like 9 o'clock in the morning. If you didn't listen to that, I would encourage you guys to listen to that, okay? I would strongly encourage you to listen to it. What else we got going on here? All right, Evan. Order some Chipotle. I like Chipotle. If I had to pick fast food, good fast food, in my opinion, as you could probably guess, I don't eat fast food, but if I'm in a pinch, Chipotle's a good one, and I also love my Chick-fil-A. So Chick-fil-A, they have really good salads, and if I'm in the right company, I might split a waffle fry with someone, or the chicken bites. I like those too, but generally I try to stick healthy to the salads. Unless if I have a bad influence to my right, then all bets are off. Evan, I'm one of the few naturals. I'm not sure if you're referring to bodybuilder or if you're referring to authenticity in terms of TA, but appreciate it either way. Frankie, I answered that. Evan, it's just the market, Evan. I wouldn't really pay too much attention to it. It's so frustrating. The funny thing is, you can kind of, we've been in this market for so long, you can kind of sense when things like XRP are going to be up when the rest of the market's dumping, or vice versa. Now, XRP isn't up at the moment. I was going to say if it was up, I bet you XLM would be up, but it's not either way. Hey, Doge is up. Fun fact with you guys, real quick. I bought a little bit of Dash and Zcash earlier today, and you might say, why would you buy those? They're such dinosaur coins. Like, why would you put any money in it? Well, first off, it was a very small amount of money. But the other thing is, if you guys have been paying attention, one of the things I've said to you is that on my ledger, I own most of the OG coins. And it's not because I necessarily think they're going to appreciate tremendously in value. It's the part of me that is a true crypto enthusiast. I love knowing that I own Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Ethereum Classic. I own XRP, XLM, Digibyte, Doge. I even own Doge now, Zcash, Dash. I don't own Syscoin. But really, the main OG coins I just like to hold a little bit of, and I'll probably, I don't know when or if I'll ever sell them. Maybe someday. But Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Zcash, and Dash. Those are the four. I even own a little bit of Ethereum Classic that I'm not planning on selling anytime soon. But I do own that from an investment standpoint too. But yeah, I like owning some of the OG coins. Now, there are some larger OG coins that I hold from an investment philosophy, and I think you know which ones those are because I've spoken to them quite a bit. Thank you, YC. I appreciate that. It always is, man. It's all about perspective, no matter how hard life gets. Yeah, Digibyte is chopping around, but I do still believe that a very explosive move is imminent. It's going to be fun. It's actually going to be a lot of fun doing an updated video on Digibyte once that thing is past 3 cents. That's going to be a good time. I can't wait for that. All right, guys, I really didn't have anything else, so I'm gonna tune out. For tomorrow, real quick, before you tune out on me, for tomorrow, I don't think I did a live stream last Friday. Friday was that's when things started to get real. So I just had a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. So I will do my best to live stream tomorrow. I really don't have any exciting plans at the moment this weekend, so I should have time. I don't think, though, make sure that you click the bell icon for notifications because I don't think I'm going to live stream at 5:30 on a Friday Eastern. It'll probably be like midday, might be like late morning or something like that. Take a quick 30-minute break and do a live stream. So just make sure you click all notifications. Who knows? Maybe we'll get some sort of a nice green day tomorrow. You never know. It'll make for more of an exciting day because right now it's just kind of dismal, right? It's just kind of a dismal. Yeah, there's not a lot going on. So hang in there, guys. I've been trying to point out the key charts to pay attention to, guys. Make sure if you haven't already to hit the thumbs up button. Drop me a comment to support a little bit of love here. Vivek, the only Vivek I know is the guy running for president. Which, by the way, I don't like to get political. Politics are the one thing that I've been very cynical about in my life. But I tell you what, guys. If you live in the United States, you may want to check out his messaging. Guy seems like a pretty logical, level-headed individual. But anyway, until next time, everybody, I hope to see you tomorrow. I don't know what time, so make sure you click the bell icon for notifications. Until next time, spread awareness, and let's all carry the education forward. Take care, everybody.